So I'm trying to shoot this garden update this morning. It's April 19th, Sunday, and the neighbors are crop dusting. And every time they buzz the field, the geese get up and they come swarming over the top of me. So it's nothing but racket, but I'm gonna keep trying. So it's again, it's April 19th. It's 40 degrees out this morning. It's a little chilly. So the garden update is I'm behind. So let's go ahead and try and shoot this. Here he comes. He's one more pass. All right, well, try and shoot. I'll set this up here. So yeah, I'm a month behind on the garden. And the reason for that was, I know it's hard for a lot of you to believe, but I wasn't going to grow a garden this year. I told my wife that I would spend more time this year doing things that she enjoyed doing with me, like backpacking and kayaking and a lot of our outdoor activities, and spend a little less time in the garden. We were going to have a family reunion this year, and so what I was going to do with the garden was I was just going to make it all popcorn, so we could have a big corn maze, so the kids could run through the corn maze and I could continue on some of my seed varieties that I was developing, so I could keep my pink popcorn growing and I could still do everything she wanted to do without dedicating a bunch of time to the garden. Well, guess what? 2020, a disease comes about and makes food security kind of iffy. So guess what? Garden's back on. So for 2020, we're going to have a garden. I'm just a month behind. So as you can see, I haven't mulched my beds. The beds have not been mulched. There's nothing in them except for maybe a few things that were not taken out: onions, garlic, a few carrots that wintered over. So there's nothing in here. So we're starting really late this year for us, but for me, by now I've usually got cabbages going and lettuces and all the different Brachus families, and they're not in here. So late start, but we're gonna go for it. I do have potatoes in the ground. I'm gonna try potatoes in containers this year. As a lot of you guys know, I'm not a big fan of container potatoes, simply because they're, to me, expensive. A lot of times to get good potatoes out of a container, you need to purchase soil, and you need to purchase vermiculite or perlite or something to keep that soil from compacting in a bucket. And so I'm not a fan of that. If that's all you can do, do it. But generally I'm not a fan of that. However, I've been watching a fellow a little bit on YouTube, and his name's Tony O'Neill. He's a big fan of container potatoes. So I'm gonna take on that challenge. I'm gonna give it a shot this year. So we'll do some container potatoes also. We'll just see how that goes. This is, if you haven't gardened before, this is probably the year to do it. Take it up, grow some tomatoes or something. Do whatever you can do to stay out of the grocery stores as much as possible. And if you can have some fresh tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, onions, lettuce, you can grow it yourself. These aren't complicated things to grow. It's not rocket science. If it was, I wouldn't be doing it. So anyways, that's our garden update as of April 19th, Sunday. We can do a quick walkthrough. I've got the peaches are starting to bloom. You see, I can show you guys that without beating you up too much. The peaches are starting to bloom. Here, maybe a little early. Garlic's rock and rolling. More peaches. So you can see blooming. So it's been unseasonably warm for us. So hopefully we don't get our June 1st frost and kill everything. But these are beautiful, aren't they? Those are awesome. Show you, I've got my potatoes started out here. Like I said, that's one thing I have got going. I haven't got my cabbages going or my lettuces, which you should probably already have started. There you go. So this is my rip-off of the root stout method, where she would use straw in her garden. I use leaves and grass clippings, and basically this is a spot I can go and get amazing compost out of here without keeping a compost pile or dealing with that nonsense. I have an area here, it's about 40 by 15 feet wide, that is all leaves and grass clippings and kitchen waste. And so what I have in here, if I dig underneath some of these leaves, you will see some absolutely amazing soil. And so this is where I do my root stout style of gardening. I also, as you guys know, I do the raised beds. So in here is my potatoes going, but we're gonna try containers this year. So there we are. We'll see you guys later. Ow. Kidding me, kid.